introduction and the invitation to speak here today. So I work for Tuev Sued, which is an international TIC company with about 25,000 employees all around the globe. And today I would like to guide you through the following agenda. We will have a look at certification of hydrogen. Is it really necessary? Then we will have a look at the colorful world of hydrogen, following by regulations on hydrogen, not so deep as Jan already informed us really well about RED II. We will dive deeper in the functioning of the product certification system and existing standards in Germany. And I will close the session with an outlook, what can we expect in the future. So, certification of hydrogen, is that really necessary? In a purely renewable world, we would say no. But in short term, that means in the time where we will have a significant part of fossil energy in our energy mix, that means at least until 2050, yes. And why is that so? Because produced hydrogen should contribute significantly to climate protection. Produced hydrogen must emit remarkably less greenhouse gases than conventionally produced one, and it needs to consider the whole value chain. Certification gives clear criteria for industry and investors as to which hydrogen technologies are suitable and sustainable for the future. And last but not least, it prevents double counting of CO2 reduced hydrogen. So when we have a look at the different colors of hydrogen, we see black, brown, gray hydrogen, which is coming from fossil sources. And the typical source is from steam reformed natural gas. Pink hydrogen is hydrogen generated through electrolysis by nuclear energy. And we talk about blue hydrogen when it's again coming from fossil sources, but in combination with carbon capture and storage. That means CO2 is captured and not released into the atmosphere. Then we also have turquoise hydrogen, which is also based on fossil fuels. It's produced with pyrolytics, and CO2 is again captured. And then we have green hydrogen, which is based on renewable energies. So when we have a look at the regulations on hydrogen, we see that the EU is on the forefront. The EU sets targets for decarbonization and the use of renewable energies. The Fit for 55 package has the objective to reduce CO2 emissions till 2030 by 55% compared to 1990. And in the transport sector, the share of renewable energy shall be 14% by 2030, whereas 2.6% of these fuels should come from renewable fuel from non-biologic origin, RFNBO. And in industry, 50% of fuels need to come from hydrogen from RFNBO. So this slide gives an overview about the utilization and criteria of hydrogen in different industry sectors and which article of RED II is responsible for it. So we see there will be a registry for, or a guarantee of origin registry for hydrogen, and there are goals for the utilization in industry, transport, heat and cooling. So hydrogen plays a significant role within the RED II directive. Now, when we have a look at the functioning of a product certification system, there are two different approaches: the book and claim approach and the mass balance approach. And I will first explain how the book and claim approach functions, and then we will follow with the mass balance approach. So here we see in the book and claim approach, there is a hydrogen unit produced. And in the book and claim approach, the physical hydrogen is separated from its renewable attribute. So the physical hydrogen without any claim goes to a hydrogen trader and then is sold to the industry without a claim. At the same time, the attribute renewable energy is put on a guarantee of origin and can be traded within a GOO registry. So from one trader to another until the end, an end consumer says, here, myself, I would like to consume 100% hydrogen coming from renewable sources. And then the guarantee of origin is cancelled within the registry, and the attribute renewable is put together with the physical energy, with the physical hydrogen again, and can be consumed by the end consumer. In the mass balance approach, the physical hydrogen and the renewable attributes sticks together, and the whole value chain is verified. And it really starts at the beginning of the value chain with the cultivation, for example, of sugar beet. There it is checked if it's really sustainable cultivated. And then at each process step, a verification is done again, and this continues from trader to trader until the end consumer. So here we see three existing certification systems which are well known and applied within Germany. We have here ISCC, International Sustainability and Carbon Certification. We have Certify and the Tuev Sued standard Green Hydrogen. These three standards differentiate in certain areas. We see that they all require 100% renewable sources. Tuev Sued has additional criteria for the electricity supply. For example, out of the 100%, 30% from the renewable energies need to come from renewable energy plants that are not older than 3 years. Then the standards differentiate in regard to the GHG reduction requirements. We see here ISCC has no requirements regarding GHG reduction. Certify requires at least a 60% GHG reduction, and Tuev Sued, depending on the process, how green hydrogen is produced, a 60 to 75% reduction. And these are including emissions related to compression, liquefaction, and transportation. And then last but not least, the standards also differentiate in regard to the certification approach. IACC uses mass balance, certify the book and claim approach, and Tuev Sued clients can choose one of the two options. So when we look into the future, what can we expect? There will be a new release of the Tuev Sued green hydrogen standard in December this year. With this new standard, we will introduce 2 levels of certification. There will be a basic certification with basic requirements, which we then call green hydrogen. And there will be the possibility to certify green hydrogen plus, which has additional criteria. For example, the basic criteria are, of course, 100% renewable energy, and the book and claim approach is sufficient. If someone decides to go for green hydrogen plus, the mass balance system is obligatory, and power plants delivering renewable electricity are maximum 1 year older than the electrolyzer. So we are already trying to use the RED II directives. And renewable electricity, which gets production support, is not accepted according to Green Hydrogen Plus. By the end of December, the Commission shall adopt the delegated acts by establishing a union methodology, and this will have an impact on all existing and future certification schemes.